Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am here today to film for you a video that I'm kind of proud to be filming and also a little bit ashamed and embarrassed. Today I'm going to be filming my palette collection. Let me just take a minute and show you what I keep them in. It's really heavy. This is my palette box. This sits in the bottom drawer of my vanity and it weighs a ton. I have way too many, I know that, but it's not going to stop me from buying more. All I ask is that you don't make fun of me and you don't count. Don't count how many there are, please. If you do, don't let me know. Please just don't count. The first thing I'm going to pull out is this one here. You saw me haul this back in August. It's a Shea Moisture, just magnetic palette. And I'm going to start with this one because the only thing in it that's eyeshadow is this one over here. This pretty blue color is the only eyeshadow. That one's a blush and that one's a highlighter. Okay, the next thing I have here is one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes that I own. It is the Jaclyn Hill Favorites palette by Morphe Cosmetics. Can we talk about this? It's so beautiful. It's so warm and neutral, but you've got your purples and your cranberries and your plummy browns and oranges, and then there's this random green. Like, everything about this palette is perfect. Next up here we've got a palette that I don't use that much, but I still think is gorgeous, so I refuse to get rid of. It's this one here from Stila. It is the, what are you called? In the Moment. It is just full of beautiful purple tones, and this is one of the prettiest golds I own. I don't like that it doesn't have a mirror. It just has a quote right there where the mirror should be. Next we've got this one here from the Balm. It's called their Rockstar palette. I also don't use this one that much either, but it does have a really cute mirror. It's heart-shaped. It's got some fun colors, some really pretty ones, but nothing like spectacular, nothing really out of the ordinary. And then you also have a highlighter here and a blush. I think that these are both really pretty. I do use these. I just don't use the eyeshadows that much. And then if you fold down this bottom part here, you have two little lip and cheek colors, which I have actually never touched. This is the Coastal Scents Revealed 3 palette. I think this is such a gorgeous palette. It has a beautiful range of colors. Coastal Scents actually has some really good eyeshadows, like their quality is pretty good. Next, I'm going to talk about these here. These normally I wouldn't consider palettes. I usually only put things in here that have 5 or more shadows, but these all came in a set from the Lorac holiday collection last year. So they're like little baby palettes, and they each have 4 colors. This one here is Countess. I love that blue shade. And then Princess. Nice neutral bronzy gold colors. And then you've got Duchess, which is great if you want to do anything that's like navy or gray. This is like my favorite silver. And then last but not least, you have Queen. I love that color so much. I have on 2 pairs of fuzzy socks and my feet are freezing still. The next one here is the Tartelette Palette from, of course, Tarte. This is just the original one. They did come out with the Tartelette in Bloom, which is like the second one. And I don't own that one, and I don't know that I will, at least not for a while. Honestly, I probably will end up with it because I clearly have a problem. But I don't know, I bought this palette, and when I first got it, I was absolutely in love. I love purple eyeshadow. I think it is amazing, but I just don't feel like this palette's all that versatile. You can do like a purple smoky eye. I wasn't blown away with the quality of these shadows. The formula just didn't stand out to me. The next palette I have to share is this one here from Urban Decay. This is the Smoked palette. It'll go away and then it'll come back, and then it goes away and then it comes back, and then it goes away and then it comes back, and so this is what it looks like. This is what the palette looks like. It's really, really great if you want to do like a dark but colorful smoky eye. I'm very excited to play with this. I actually just bought this palette like not even a week ago, so I haven't touched it yet. Alright, what do I want to talk about now? Oh, let's do some drugstore palettes. This one here is from LA Colors. I picked this up at Target. I don't remember how much it was. I want to say it was no more than 10, I know that. I don't know, I was just drawn to the colors even though it's really, really similar throughout. I was just drawn to it. I thought it was fun and pretty. And I was like, I've never tried these eyeshadows, so I like cheap eyeshadow. So if they're good, it's a good deal. They're okay. I've tried it a couple of times. I'll continue to play with it, but I'm not blown away. It's not a high quality eyeshadow palette, but it's not bad. A couple more really nice and cheap palettes. These two here are from Makeup Revolution. This is a brand that's like top selling in the UK, but they recently brought it to the United States, but only to Ulta. And I love these palettes. These are really good and they're $7 each. But this one's really pretty. This is just called the Essential Matte Palette. I love this one. I love, love, love it. And then I also have this one here, which is a mix of matte and shimmer. And this one is called the Romantic Smoked Palette. I think this one's so gorgeous. I love these shimmery shades over here. This one here is the Urban Decay Shadow Box palette. I love this palette. I use it fairly frequently, but if you want a palette that's really versatile and you can wear every day, this is not your palette. However, I do really love this palette. I reach for it all the time when I want to do a pop of color, especially for flash right there. Freaking love that eyeshadow. We'll talk about these two together, might as well. Here I have the two Lorac Pro Palettes. This is the first one and the second one. This is an essential eyeshadow palette. Whether you wear a ton of makeup or almost none, but you want to branch out and get into eyeshadow, if you're a makeup artist, whatever, you need this. It's so good. Lorac has my favorite formula of eyeshadows ever. There is no one that makes better eyeshadows than Lorac, in my opinion. And this palette is my baby. And then we've got the Pro 2 palette, which has seen less love, but I've also had this for a lot less time also. This palette is so gorgeous. You guys, I love it. I don't need to say anything about it because look at how pretty it is. Oh, I might as well talk about these now. These little guys are from the Wet n Wild Summer collection. I don't remember the name of the collection, but they came out with like 4 or 5 of these little palettes that had 6 colors each, and I picked up this one here in California Roll. It's so fun. This one's just so fun if you ever need, you know, a bright neon orange or a lime green or, you know, a red, whatever. It's so fun. And I also got this one here in Vegan Culture, which is a nice cool toned green, blue, teal, silver. Yeah, it's this. I love this one. Is so much fun to wear all over the lid. It's so nice. The next palette I want to share with you is the Double Exposure palette from Smashbox. This one's cool because every single shadow in here is designed to be used either wet or dry. But you get this little palette guard that says all the names and what happens to each shadow when you use it wet. I haven't played with this as much as I would like to. I mostly stick to like this area right over here when I'm using it. It's freaking cold down here. Like really freaking cold, and I'm not very pleased about it. Might as well talk about this next. You've seen me use this before if you've ever watched any of my videos. I love this guy. I've moved my colors around in it to what makes sense for me, so this is not what it looks like when you buy it at the store, but it's like the same general idea, you know. Not gonna linger on that one, it's a contour palette. These next three are all from Too Faced. This first one here is the Boudoir Eyes palette. This is the first one of these that I bought, and I love it. It's a very sexy palette, honestly. Like if you want to do anything, like you can tone it down and make it like romantic, but let's be honest, it's pretty sexy. And they have sexy names too. The next one that I have is the cutest by far. It's the Cat Eyes palette. It is adorable on the outside and on the inside. But hello, gorgeous highlight shade. I use this on my face like as my highlight. Gorgeous, gorgeous crease color. Or even all over the lid, it doesn't matter. It's just beautiful. And then last but not least from Too Faced, I have the Natural Matte palette. It's this guy here. You saw me use this in, I think I called it like my cool toned full face tutorial or something like that. I don't always use this to create an entire eye look, but if you need a transition color or a crease color, or even just want to do a matte look but need something a little bit different, this is so good. I'll come in here and grab one of those, slap it in my crease, all over the lid, under the eye. These are great, and they blend so nicely. Love it. Next, I want to talk about this palette here. This one is from Stila. It's from their Eyes Are the Window collection, and this one is Mind. Mind. It's so beautiful. I'm not gonna lie, these are not the greatest formula of eyeshadows. They're a little bit dry and chalky. You do have to spend a little bit of extra time blending them out, and you do have to use a little bit more product than with most other shadows. But I don't really care about that because look at how beautiful the palette is. It's like a sunset on a beach in eyeshadow form. Next up is this blush palette here from Coastal Scents. Everyone needs a blush palette. Okay, not everyone, but if you like to do makeup on yourself or on other people, you need a blush palette. And these are actually really, really good blushes. Thank you, Olivia, for buying this for me. It was a great birthday present, and I still use it almost 2 years later. Let's talk about naked palettes, because I have all three of them. This is where the shame starts kicking in. The first one I have here is the Naked 3. I'm going to do these in reverse order because why not? This is the one that I use the least of the Naked palettes. I think it's gorgeous. I just don't reach for this all that much because it obviously is very pink and rosy toned, and those kinds of shades tend to make me look like I have pink eye. I do think that this is a beautiful palette, and I want to start using this more. I do try and make myself reach for this because I think it's gorgeous. I love the colors in this. Next we've got the Naked 2. This is the most incredible eyeshadow palette I own. This is one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes that I own, and that's saying a lot because you've seen how many I have. It's cool toned, and it's a little dark, and can be very vampy, and you've got such beautiful shimmers in here, and this whole palette is amazing. And last but not least, in the Naked department, that sounds funny, cat hair in my mouth. This is the original Naked palette. It's a staple, it's a must-have. It is one of the most well-loved eyeshadow palettes on the internet and everywhere, for good reason. It's beautiful. It is so beautiful. Like, I don't have to talk about it, I don't have to explain its beauty. It speaks for itself. Alright, let's move along. Here we've got the NYX Avant Pop palette. This is the third one. I actually haven't even touched this palette yet. I just bought this a few days ago, but I love it. I love it, and I'm really, really excited to play with it. I kind of want to do something with this tomorrow, but I don't know what yet. Really digging that shade. I love that. Alright, here we've got the Park Avenue Princess Contour Palette. They call this a contour palette, but it's not for contouring. It is beautiful though. This was a limited edition one that came out with their holiday collection last year. Comes with their Park Avenue Princess bronzer. It's well loved. I freaking love it. I think it's beautiful. Comes with a blush, a very nice blush, and then this highlighter that is worthless. I love this palette. I love it so much. But honestly, if they could have just taken out that highlighter and made this whole pan a blush, I would have been a lot happier. We're almost done. We've only got a few left. Here we have the NYX Prism eyeshadow palette. This is in Naked. I picked this up at Target. I can't remember if it was $6 or if it was $10. Either way, it's a great deal though, because you get 6 amazing eyeshadows. You don't get any matte shades in this, which is a drawback for some people, but clearly it's not a problem for me with my collection. They gleam. They're like foiled shadows almost. Okay, let's talk about this guy here. This one is from Lorac. It's called their Vintage Vixen palette. This one was limited edition, also came out with the holiday collection last year. It's all matte, 5 matte shades, and they're all very, very wearable. I use this palette so much. It's all you need. You can do eye look with this easy in just a couple minutes every single day. I love this palette so much. Let's talk about one of my newest obsessions. This is the Urban Decay and Gwen Stefani palette. And let me just say, if you have fair skin and you've been looking for an amazing palette that suits your skin tone, look no further. This is it. Here you've got your beautiful, everyday, neutral, natural, awesome, wearable colors. You've got your darker shades here. You can smoke it up, deepen things up. It's amazing. And then you've got some fun colors right there. This is everything you need to succeed in life and in makeup. Next we've got here the Energy Noir palette from Tarte. It's okay. Everything's fine. I think this palette is so great. It's a very unique layout. Here you have 8 eyeshadows, which are all beautiful. They all coordinate really, really well together. You've got a great blush. This is so beautiful. And then one of the most amazing highlight colors I have ever seen. This is so beautiful. This is the highlight I have on my cheekbones right now. I wish that this was bigger, or that they put this highlight in this palette. That would be so much better. This one here is also from Lorac. This one came out in their holiday collection this year. It is the, I can't say this, I'm gonna attempt it. Riesling? I'm gonna go with Riesling Romantic Palette. I think it's so beautiful. It is a very romantic palette. You can do so much with this, but this is gonna be great for date night or anytime you just want to be like subtly glam, but still glam. Only 3 more palettes! I love this palette so much. This is the Tamana palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This has my name written all over it. That color there. Gilded. Got that all over my lids today. It has unexpected colors in it, but they are so beautiful and so amazing. You can't go wrong with this palette. This is the Urban Decay Vice 4 palette. I used this palette in my most recent video. It was my New Year's Eve glam tutorial, I think I called it. But I used this, and the lighting sucked in that video and in all the other videos I've done. I got a new ring light, just came in today, so I'm filming again. So the lighting sucked in that video and did not do the colors in this palette justice. So I just want to take a minute to, yes, this is what it actually looks like. And it is gorgeous. Not the most wearable palette I own, granted, but it is so amazing. You can do so much with this. I love playing with colors now, and this is a great palette to do that with. And last but not least, the Lorac Mega Pro 2 palette. I immediately grabbed this one as soon as it came out in stores. I'm so glad that I did. I love this palette. It's not as amazing as the first one was, just overall view, but each individual shade is so nice. And like I said, Lorac has my favorite formula of eyeshadows. They're so creamy and pigmented and buttery. They blend like a dream, and this palette is essential to me. That is it. My bucket is empty. Hold it with one hand now. Look at that. That is it. That is all of the palettes that I own. It's a lot. I hope you didn't keep count, and if you did, don't let me know. I really don't want to know the number. I don't. And I know that this video was a long one, so if you stuck around to the end, thank you. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Give me a thumbs up if you liked this video. Leave me a comment if there's something else that you want to see. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you soon. Bye.